with the 17th overall pick. I can see the Pittsburgh Steelers going several ways here. They can help that offensive. They can help that defensive line. Maybe they go try to get Sylvester Williams or maybe John Jenkins from Georgia to kind of be a guy who's going to end up replacing Casey Hampton at that nose tackle position. But I think they're going to need firepower offensively. You lost Mike Wallace. You don't have that much great of talent at the wide receiver position. I think they go Justin Hunter here from the University of Tennessee, a speed guy, guy who's about 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", a guy who can take the top off the defense, vertical threat. You have Plaxico Burress there, but he's on the downside of his career, the later end of his career, and I think they're going to need more explosiveness out of that. So Justin Hunter is definitely going to help that offense, I think, a lot. So I think they go Justin Hunter here. With the 18th overall pick, I can see the Dallas Cowboys going with the safety from Texas, Kenny Vaccaro. I think they're going to need help with that. They needed help definitely in the secondary, and I think he could play that cover 2, that Tampa 2 type of scheme for them. And he's a guy who could probably also help out in the special teams. He's a relentless tackler, a relentless hitter, and a guy that just loves the game of football. So I think that Kenny Vaccaro could fit here, but I won't be surprised if they try to trade this pick, or maybe if they do, they probably go wide receiver as well. And they probably go after a guy like Tavon Austin. They try to move up and go get Tavon. But I do think that they try to go secondary here. Their safeties have been really hurt them from a defensive standpoint. They have very good corners. I think that they need to upgrade the safety position. So I think they do go Kenny Vaccaro here. With the 19th overall pick, the New York Giants, I think they're going to either shore up either side of the offense or defensive line. I do think that they'll go DJ Fluker from Alabama to play right tackle. Like they have William Beatty to play left tackle, and they definitely struggle with guys interchanging in spots in the offensive line. So I do think they go right tackle. They go tackle here, but they also could go. I think they also could go middle linebacker, maybe a Manti Te'o, maybe an Alec Ogletree to play middle linebacker to help out there. They can also go. I think they'll probably try to. They may go safety. They may go corner, but I do think that, or they can go defensive end to help out Justin Tuck. Maybe get Breon Warner from Florida State, or maybe Tank Carradine from Florida State. But I do think they'll probably go offensive line here and shore up that offensive line a little bit more to replace the right and plug and play DJ Fluker at the right tackle position. Number 20 overall, the Chicago Bears. I think they're gonna go Alex Ogletree here, or maybe Manti Te'o. They need a middle linebacker to replace Brian Urlacher. I think they need to go more athletic here. I think they need to get faster on that defense. I think they need to be more athletic. That's why I think Alex Ogletree is a little bit higher on the draft board than Manti Te'o. Number 21 overall, the Cincinnati Bengals. I do think that Cincinnati has a couple of needs, but I do think they go wide receiver. A guy that could take the pressure off of AJ Green. I do think they go DeAndre Hopkins at the University of Clemson. DeAndre Hopkins is a very guy who's been coming up, who's been charging up the board late, and I do think they like them as a 2 wide receiver, possession guy, a guy that can make tackles in the short and intermediate range, while AJ Green's taking the top off the defense. So I think they do go wide receiver here. Number 22. The St. Louis Rams, I do think they go safety, either Matt Elam. I could see them taking either Matt Elam or Eric Reed from Florida, or Eric Reed from LSU. I think they go Eric Reed from LSU, a free safety more, guy that can, I think, who is a very smart football player, a guy who can read defenses, read offenses very well, a guy who has very solid range for his position. So I think they go there. With the 23rd pick overall, I think Minnesota goes Sylvester Williams here. D tackle out of North Carolina, a guy who I think who could play 3 or play the 1, but he's going to help shore up the middle of that defensive line, the middle of that defense for them. The number 24 pick overall, the Indianapolis Colts, I think are going to go wide receiver here. They're going to go Corral Patterson, a guy who is very rare but is a tremendous playmaker, and he's going to help stretch out that defense with guys like Reggie Wayne and Lavelle Brazil there, and just all those other weapons that they have. T.Y. Hilton, I think that he's a guy that could stretch the defense and take the top off the defense. So I think watch out for Corral Patterson. Number 25 overall, I think the Minnesota Vikings, excuse me. I think they're gonna go Manti Te'o here once again, shoring up that the middle of their defense. I expect probably maybe to make a trade. Maybe like I said earlier, Buffalo trying to go up and try to get Ryan Nassib, or a team trying to go get a quarterback that they want. Maybe if Cleveland doesn't take Geno Smith and he's off the board, maybe they come up and they go take EJ Manuel from Florida. But expect I expect Minnesota to make some movement here. If they don't make movement, I think they'll take Manti Te'o. Moving on to the 26th overall pick, the Green Bay Packers. I do think they need help in the secondary, and expect them to maybe they go offensive line. They go get Justin Pog from Syracuse. But I think they're going to go defense, and they're going to shore up that safety position, especially with Charles Woodson on the downside of his career. I think they go Matt Elam from Florida. I think that would be a very good, solid draft pickup for them. Yeah, a guy who could play up in the box. He kind of reminds me, but a better version of Atari Bigby, a guy who would just hit you and he'll intimidate you in the middle of that field, and he can definitely cover the tight ends in this draft, tight ends in the NFL. So I expect Matt Elam probably to go 26 to the Green Bay Packers. 27th overall, the Houston Texans. I had a couple of people that they can go here. I think they could go Tyler Eifert here. I think they could sneak and go Robert Woods here, but I think they go for Keenan Allen, the wide receiver from Cal. They need to shore up, get a little bit more talent in that wide receiver pool with Andre Johnson, one of the best, if not the best, wide receivers in the game. I think that them getting Keenan Allen really bolsters and helps a guy like Matt Schaub, and it takes a lot of pressure off Andre Johnson. So expect Keenan Allen to go there. But I do know they really like DeVere Posey. So maybe they do go tight end, or maybe they do go offensive line. But we'll see what they do there. Number 28 overall, the Denver Broncos. Expect them, I think, to try to replace Elvis Dumervil. I think they go beyond Warner here, or they could go Tank Carradine here as well. From Florida State, either or, but I think they do go beyond Warner, or they probably will go offensive line and go get Justin Pog from Syracuse as well. A very good offensive lineman who could play. I think who's going to spin. He played tackle last year, but I think he'll spin more down to a guard. Number 29 overall, you have the New England Patriots. Now, I don't expect the New England Patriots to keep this draft pick at all. I'll actually be shocked if they do. I think they trade back. Maybe maybe they help a team like Buffalo. Maybe they help a team that wants to get back into the first round, get a quarterback or get a wide receiver that they like, or any type of player that they like. But I think if they do stand pat here, they'll go Desmond Trufant from Washington. Another very good, solid corner in this draft, and I think they need to help. Even though they got back Talib, I think they gotta get more talent on that secondary. So I think they do go corner here, and they go with Desmond Trufant from Washington. Number 30th overall. I think he might be gone by this time. But I do think they go tight end, or even they go offensive line with Justin Pog as well. But I think the Atlanta Falcons might go tight end here. If Tyler Eifert's off the board, I had them selecting Tyler Eifert, but if he's off the board, look for Zach Ertz from Stanford, the tight end, or like I said, look for Justin Pog, because they're going to need to show up that offensive line as well. Offensive line really broke down last year, and it really hurt them. So expect them to go here. The 31st pick overall, the San Francisco 49ers. I think they go with Marcus Hunt from SMU, a guy who I think is just an athletic freak. About 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", around that range, 280, and just an athletic freak. I've never seen anybody that size that can move the way he moves, and I think that he would be the perfect fit for this 49er team. They may move back, they may trade back, but once again, like I said, there's going to be a lot of movement at the top of this draft, in the middle of the draft to get to the top, or in the bottom of the draft to try to get back in. So they might be a team that may try to may try to help a team out or trade back so they can get more depth, because there's more depth at the 2 and the second round and the third round. But I do think they probably go Marcus Hunt here with the 31st overall pick, and with the 32nd pick, the Super Bowl Ravens, the Super Bowl champs, the Baltimore Ravens. I think they got to go find a guy to replace Ed Reed, and I think Jonathan Saprin out of Florida International is a guy that I think that they definitely target, especially if Eric Reed is off the board and maybe if Matt Elam's off the board as well. I think they do need to shore up that secondary, especially at that free safety spot. And I think that Johnny Cyprin is definitely a guy that can help out. Those are my picks. Like I said, I think there's going to be a lot of movers and shakers in this draft. Guys, teams are going to try to move up. Teams are going to try to send strong smoke screens. But I do think that this draft is going to be very, very interesting because there's a lot of talent in that second and third round, and there's a lot of depth there. And I can expect teams to move up or try to move back into the first round, or try to move back and get to multiple picks in the second and the third round. But that's what I think. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think your top teams are going to do? Your favorite teams are going to do? And I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for checking out the video.